So that's a contract. Vermont Yankee didn't have to sign that contract. It was a contract between people who said, well, I think this is what we're going to do. Then there's regulation. This regulation means that, for example, Vermont has feed-in tariffs for renewables. That means that the utilities must buy renewables, and they must pay a set price set by the Vermont legislature. So actually, I'm making it simple here by saying 12 cents. Actually, renewables run from 12 to 30 cents per kilowatt hour, and the utility must buy them at that price. Once again, it doesn't matter what else is going on in the spot market. And then you've got regulation like the old days. Back in the old days, there weren't spot markets, and what happened was that a utility wanted to charge a certain amount of money. It went to its public service board and said, we'd like to charge this sort of money. And then the public service board said, yes, that's a fair rate of return, go ahead and do it. This had its problems. It was very easy for the utilities to invest too much in capital investments because their rate of return was the rate of return on their capital investments. So they're going to build a lot. But at any rate, in New Hampshire, the New Hampshire Public Service Board has said to Merrimack, go ahead, build the flue gas desulfurization part of your coal plant. It's $500 million, but we are going to let you recapture that money. Okay, so that's another regulation situation. Here comes the the spot price, the 5-minute market. This is important to understand. Let's say the wind needs 300 megawatts, and power plant A says, yes, I can give you 102 cents. We'll buy it. Okay, power plant B says, I can give you 104 cents. We'll buy it. Power plant C says, there's no other power plants around. Look what he's offering. I can give you 108 cents. We'll buy it. They buy all three at 8 cents. All of those power plants, whatever they bid on the spot market, get 8 cents. And it's important to understand because nothing else makes sense if you don't realize that. And you might say that that is called the highest price supplier, which is also called the clearing price, if you want to know the jargon. Utility and power plant pricing. This is complicated because the utility pays the clearing price. You see if I got it? Yeah. Which is at 8 cents. The plant, they still get the contract price. So if it's Vermont Yankee, it gets 4.2 cents. And if it's, somebody's wind turbine, it gets 12 cents. A pure play merchant plant, which is what Vermont Yankee would like to be and what most gas plants are, gets the clearing price. Okay? It doesn't have a contract, it gets the clearing price. So now this is where, if Dave Lamont was there, he would jump up and down and say, Meredith, this is such an oversimplification. But basically, the utility sells power within the grid at the clearing price. Those numbers I showed you before, 7 cents or whatever, they were the clearing price. Okay? And of course, there's distribution fees, and if you remember from an earlier slide, there's also those things about the transmission costs and the congestion costs, and we don't want to go there because we'll be here all night, and we don't want that. I really don't want to do that. Okay, this is just very, very interesting. This has nothing to do with the presentation except to say that the clearing price is set by the gas price, and the price of electricity is set by the price of natural gas. This is from the ISO financial report. It goes from May 03 to January 09. This side is dollars per megawatt from, let's go by cents, it's easier, from 4 cents to $1, okay? This side is the price of natural gas per million BTU. Do you think there's a little bit of a match here? Okay, so the clearing price is set by natural gas, and so that's it. So of course, a paid-off, I'm not trying to, a paid-off nuclear plant, which can make electricity fairly inexpensively because it's paid its mortgage already, it doesn't want to get rid of all the natural gas plants around, believe me, because, you know, that's where it's getting its money. When the okay, moving along. This is finally, this is the point of it all. I wanted to talk about the grid and reliability, because this is one of these situations that completely confused me. There's a picture, a thing in the paper that says, ISO refuses to let Vermont Yankee drop out of the 2013 bidding process, even though Vermont Yankee can't promise to run in 2013. And I'm going like, well, that's an interesting statement. What on earth is this about? Because I didn't understand it. So I did some research on it. ISO is responsible for grid reliability. And I will talk about whether reliability is or is not a problem. It depends on the perspective. It depends on transmission lines. And VY is the example, but clean energy may be another example. And I think I promised, okay, this is the question, is reliability a problem on the grid or not a problem? And the ISO New England website is complex, but if you search around, and I'll put these things, links to them on the map, on the website when I put them up, there's something called the SELT file. And this shows that the grid has 3,200 megawatts of capacity, of which Vermont Yankee is 620 megawatts at 2%. So you say, what? That's no problem. Close it down, no problem. The reserves on the grid, there's a line here, which I need a pointer, but I don't have it. Anyway, there's a line there, you can't read it anyway, but it says reserves, 35%, 20%, 19%, 37%. And reserves range from 19 to 35% on this area here. And actually, for grid stability, you'll be 15%. So obviously, we can shut down the Yankee and there won't be a problem. But maybe it is a problem, because ISO won't let Vermont Yankee drop out of the 2013 forward auction. That's because the area around Vermont Yankee would be below its ISO's reliability standards without Vermont Yankee.